Welcome, friends. It's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I'm making a slimline card that measures 3 3/4 by 8.5. And I have placed a piece of pattern paper or newsprint pattern paper on my mat and placed my magnet there because I have a metal table underneath. So this will hold. And then I am going to be using a lips stamp from Honeybee Stamps and some Distress Oxide Candied Apple ink. I have placed my stamp onto an acrylic block and I have brought my ink pad directly to my stamp and just stamping that multiple times to get good ink coverage. Because this is oxide ink, it is more opaque and on this pattern paper looks like it's more like a second generation stamping, so I love that. As I stamp, I'm going to alternate my stamp and turn it in alternate directions each time. I love letting the pattern paper do most of the work, if not all of the work for my backgrounds. Let me know in the comments whether you like using pattern paper for your backgrounds or if you prefer to hand stamp all of your backgrounds. I brought in my Ranger red dye ink and I am going to just place it off center of a few of the lips that I have already stamped with the Distress Oxide ink. So here I placed a scrap piece of paper in my MISTI, prepped for heat embossing with my anti-static powder bag, and am stamping the love stamp and with Versamark ink, and bringing in another scrap of that black cardstock, and we'll stamp a couple of more of the sentiments from the stamp set. I'm going to stamp this twice, and I'm just lightly um, going over or rubbing in with my dry eraser because I don't want to press too hard. I don't want my images to look blurred. I'm going to bring in that same silver embossing powder and heat my love sentiment and then my smaller sentiments. And I die cut this love sentiment after I stamped it, and some of the black is showing through, so I just applied a little of my Versamark ink, some more embossing powder, and then I will heat set that. I cut my love die out twice using 110-pound card stock in black. So here I'm using my liquid adhesive to um, secure or affix the two 110-pound card cutouts, and then I will place my silver love sentiment on top and place that under an acrylic block to let that adhere. So now I'm going to trim my main panel down to 3 3/8 by 8 1/8 inches, and am going to trim a little off of each side, and then we'll end up with the 3 3/8. Going to go ahead and mat my pattern paper onto a red mat. Going to trim my mat down a little bit. Here I'm figuring out the placement of my sentiment strips, trimming down my top sentiment, using some tacky glue to affix it to the right side of my panel, and figuring out where I want to place my second sentiment, and then of course my love sentiment. I don't want that love sentiment to overlap my second small sentiment strip. So figuring that out, and then we'll place that second sentiment strip on my panel and fix that down, and use my acrylic block to make sure that it adheres. Then I will place some liquid adhesive on the back of my love die and use my tweezers so that I can get good placement and place that on my panel. I'm going to go ahead and place my front panel onto my 120-pound accent opaque card base using double-sided tape. I love the combination of red, black, and silver. Stunning. I am placing my Nuvo drops in a triangular fashion. I am going to put 2 at the bottom, so I have a total of 5. I love the way this card turned out. It is a Valentine's Day card for my husband. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I will have more still photos over on my blog, so be sure to check that out. Until next time, good day, friends.